them, and I want to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow,
I want to say, you know, we, as brother was saying, Brother Solomon, he said that we are the people of God. And so we all have a code in us to represent us. So brother's doing a wonderful job.
Yes, sir.
So may Allah bless him to keep continuing. Brothers and sisters, the subject today is every day is Mother's Day. Now I don't know how brother's gonna go at that because he's the keynote speaker, Brother Herman. But I don't want to get into that except to show our Final Call newspaper.
Yes, sir.
To show this Final Call newspaper. Brothers, you'll be able to leave away from here with one of these today. This is the most powerful medium of information on the planet today.
Right.
This is not fake news.
All right.
This is real as you
That's
believe.
right. That's right.
So, with that being said, pardon me, brothers and sisters, I have allergies or something. I don't want to be drooling up here. But suffice it to say, all over the nation of Islam, all the student ministers today are teaching on every day is Mother's Day. We have been taken out of our way of doing things, and so the enemy who capitalizes and commercializes on everything
Right.
picked the day that they're going to spend almost $23 billion for this day.
Wow. Yes, sir.
And they don't give a damn about women.
That's right.
But they want to play on our sympathy for our mother or our guilt about our mother that we have disrespected all the days of our life. They want to play on that for this one day. When in the culture of the black man on the planet, we revered our mothers.
Yes, sir.
Our mother was God to us.
Yes, sir.
You understand? And we understood who God is. We didn't play polytheistic stuff. We just knew that she was there for us. And as brother said, we didn't have nothing to do with coming in. I like what you said. But when we got here, all we did was scream and holler.
That's right.
I like that. See, God is working through you, brother. Allah is working through you. And so thinking about that, that's true. When we came into existence, as our mother pushed us out with that sometimes 12 to 15 to 20 hours of labor, all we could do when we came out was scream and holler. We didn't turn around and say, "Thank you, Mom, I'm hungry now." Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I like what you said, brother. I mean, I really like that. So with that being said, you know, let's think today. Because I was thinking about something, and I don't know why Allah put it in my brain like that, but every nuance in this society today is coming from the black man, whether we know it or not.
That's exactly right.
God is bringing us into power.
Come on.
He's taking the bottom rail and he's bringing it to the top. And it's marvelous in our sight, but we don't understand. We still are suffering from slavery and mistreatment. So the minister does a lecture, separation or death. Why do we need to separate? Because God wants to put us in power. And everything that we do or invent or say, the enemy grabs it. And he commercializes on it. And he gets the benefit of our little brothers with the hip-hop.
Yeah.
Hip-hop is everywhere. It has conquered the world.
Yes, sir.
But who benefits from it?
Come on.
The Jew. The commercializer. The devil.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Everything. If you brothers, you older brothers know that when you was watching football, it was just a boring game till the black man got in there.
Right.
And the black man started doing, you know, the shuffle in the end zone. That excited the crowd.
Yes, sir.
High five and low five and side five and white folks was looking.
That's
Is
right.
that right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Now they have captured it and they claimed it.
That's right.
Right.
But it's in our time. Why is it our time? Because God came to us and chose us. So anything that we see going on, every nuance, is because of the black man and the black woman. Why? White women, it ain't because of them and that it's the Me Too movement.
That's right. That's
Black
right.
women been on the forefront since slavery.
Yes, sir.
We've been fighting this enemy. Is that right?
That's right.
And so they get behind us, the little white girls get behind us and trail behind us, and then they capture the moment.
Yeah.
But the young sisters today ain't going for that. Especially you all need to get up on Tamika Mallory.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right.
Yes,
Powerful young sister.
yes, sir.
And if she can get into the minds of these other sisters and get them from the butt-shaking contest to get out there and really deal with what's going on, then we brothers, we'll be up overnight.
Yeah.
Because it takes a good woman to raise a good man.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
But the minister, he coined this now. The messenger said, wherever you find a no good woman,
Come on.
find the no good man that made her that way.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
See? So with that being said, I don't want to go any further. Let me bring up our brother. The lecture today is every day is Mother's Day.
That's right.
Yes.
And think about this. Don't get caught up in the white man's way of doing this and go give him your money.
That's right.
Every day, if your mother's still alive,
Every
thank
day.
God for her.
That's
And
right.
talk to your mother. Some of you ain't called your mom in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Call your mom.
That's right.
Just say, Mom, I love you. If you ain't never said it before, you'll blow her mind. Like, what? What's wrong with him? I heard a word today. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So brothers and sisters, may Allah bless us. May Allah bless our brother's words. As I greet you in peace and bring up our brother, student coordinator and minister, brother Herman Muhammad. I salute
Please keep it going for Brother Gerald. Praise be to Allah. Let me start by saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As students of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we believe in all of God's messengers. We believe in all of the scriptures that they brought.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We believe in Abraham and the Abrahamic prophets and Moses and the Torah or the Old Testament. We believe in Jesus
Yes, sir.
and the disciples and the revelation of the Injil or the New Testament, the Gospel.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We believe in Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah of 1400 years ago and the divine revelation of this book entitled the Holy Quran.
Yes.
May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of these worthy servants of His. Of course, we are students of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so we thank Allah for His intervention in our affairs.
Come on down. Yes,
The
sir.
black man and woman in America and throughout the world in the divine person of Master Father Muhammad,
Yes, yes.
who we believe is the long-awaited Mahdi that the Muslim world has been waiting
Yes, sir.
for,
Yes, sir.
and the long-awaited Messiah of the Christian and the Judaic traditions.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's right.
He's a man who came for us in particular, because we as a people have been destroyed.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Once he got here, he didn't want to do the job all by himself. So he raised one from amongst us. A little Georgia-born black man.
Yes, sir.
Small fella, only about 5'5".
Yes, sir.
125 pounds,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
but a spiritual and mental giant.
Come on now.
His name was and is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But upon his leaving us, his departure in 1975, we thank Allah because he raised one and he left one in the absence of that leader and teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. One who is teaching and showing us and giving us the best example of what it means to be a black man.
Come on now. Come on.
That is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
He is who we are attempting to represent to you today. And in their three holy and righteous names, I greet my beautiful sisters and my beautiful brothers in the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
And that greeting just simply means, may the peace and blessings of God be upon you.
Yes, yes.
Like Brother Gerald and Brother Solomon mentioned, we're so honored that you would take time out of your day and come and spend it with us on this day in particular,
Yes.
the one that the white man says is Mother's Day.
Yes, sir.
We thank God for that, you know what I'm saying? That you know, that you would come on this day where, like Brother Gerald alluded to, they've designated a day for us to celebrate the love of our mother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
They designated a day. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, the subject is really taken from the title of the Final Call newspaper,
Yes, sir.
Building Up Black Women.
Yes, sir.
And it is on this Mother's Day. But like Brother Gerald said, every day should be Mother's Day.
That's right.
Right, right.
Every day
Every day.
we should honor and respect and love our mothers.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
But they've taken an opportunity, like they take an opportunity to capitalize off of everything,
Yes, sir.
for them to capitalize off of the love of our mothers.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Right.
That's right.
In a month or so, they're going to do the same thing to capitalize off of the love of our fathers. For
Yes,
those
sir.
of us who love our fathers, many of us don't. We don't give a damn about our daddies.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
mama got a
Yes, sir.
special place in our heart.
Right.
Every black man love his mama.
Yes, sir.
But you know, daddy, you know, he may or may not have been in the picture.
Mm.
So, you know, that day it's like, whatever. It's another day. But they capitalize off of everything. They capitalize if we have one that we love romantically. It's
Yes, sir.
Valentine's
Yes,
Day,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
They capitalize off of our love of God. They call it Christmas.
Come on.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Every day that they can think of, they have a way that they can capitalize off of it.
Yes.
Now, have you all ever wondered where the term Mother's Day came from? I'm just going to be brief on this piece.
Go ahead.
Where it came from, how it originated. Because I looked it up.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And I just want to read a little bit about Mother's Day, right? So that we have an understanding.
That's right.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, so Mother's Day, and this is from the internet, and you know, we really don't have an excuse, I always say this, to be ignorant, because if we don't have a leader or a teacher, man, shoot, go follow Mr. Google.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Google can teach you just about everything.
Yeah.
You know everything. But this is from the History Channel's website, history.com.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a holiday honoring motherhood that is observed in different forms throughout the world. And Mother's Day 2018 occurs Sunday, May 13th in the United States. Let me go down a little bit. Celebrations of mothers and motherhood can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, who held festivals in honor of the goddesses Rhea and Sybil. But the clearest modern precedent for Mother's Day is the early Christian festival known as Mothering Sunday. Okay? Now the first person to really work on getting Mother's Day recognized as a so-called holiday, her name was Anne Reeves Jarvis. The origins of Mother's Day are celebrated in the United States date back to the 19th century, in the years before the Civil War. Anne Reeves Jarvis of West Virginia helped start Mother's Day work clubs to teach local women how to properly care for their children.
Go ahead.
Very interesting, right?
Yes, sir.
Very sincere. I like Miss Anne Reeves Jarvis so far. That was in the early 19th century.
Yes, sir.
The official Mother's Day holiday arose in the 1900s as a result of the efforts of Anna Jarvis, daughter of Anne Reeves Jarvis. Following her mother's 1905 death, Anna Jarvis conceived of Mother's Day as a way of honoring the sacrifices mothers made for their children. Beautiful. Again, after gaining financial backing from a Philadelphia department store owner named John Wanamaker in May 1908, she organized the first official Mother's Day celebration at a Methodist church in Grafton, West Virginia. That same day also saw thousands of people attend a Mother's Day event at one of Wanamaker's retail stores in Philadelphia. So here comes the capitalist.
There you go. Come on,
Mr.
brother. Come
Wanamaker.
That's right.
Right? He coming. Look out now. Following the success of her first Mother's Day, Jarvis, who remained unmarried and childless her whole life, resolved to see her holiday added to the national calendar, arguing that American holidays were biased towards male achievements. She started a massive letter-writing campaign to newspapers and prominent politicians urging the adoption of a special day honoring Mother's Day. By 1912, many states, towns, and churches had adopted Mother's Day as an annual holiday, and Jarvis had established the Mother's Day International Association to help promote her cause. Her persistence paid off in 1914. Does that sound familiar to
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Go ahead.
1914.
Go ahead.
When President Woodrow Wilson signed a measure officially establishing the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. Okay? Beautiful, that the whole sentiment. Now here's what happened. I told you about Mr. Wanamaker. He jumped in there. Anna Jarvis, the founder, who had originally conceived of Mother's Day as a personal celebration between mothers and families. Her version of the day involved wearing a white carnation as a badge and visiting one's mother or attending church services. But once Mother's Day became a national holiday, it was not long before florists, card companies, and other merchants capitalized on its popularity.
Yes, sir.
While Jarvis had initially worked with the floral industry to help raise Mother's Day profile, by 1920, she had been disgusted with how the holiday had been commercialized. She outwardly denounced the transformation and urged people to stop buying Mother's Day flowers, cards, and candies. Jarvis against groups that had used the name Mother's Day, eventually spending most of her personal wealth in legal fees. By the time of her death in 1948, Jarvis had disowned the holiday altogether.
Yes, sir.
And even actively lobbied the government to see it removed from the American calendar.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ain't that something? Meanwhile, happy Mother's Day.
Yes, sir.
You know, so we should know these things, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we're being bombarded with the ads. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Right.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
and it's not just the ads, man. You turn on, you watch the Today Show or any of these news programs.
Yes, sir.
They always got a Mother's Day segment where, you know, You can get this and that and the other for your mama. And, make sure now, you don't want to miss.
Right.
You got to spend that money.
Yes, sir.
But that's the origins of Mother's Day. All praise is due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
But again, our subject, we're dealing with building up the black woman.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Because she's so important. So very important.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And it's shameful that Mother's Day could even be introduced as a holiday.
Yes, sir.
Because it shows that there is a blatant disrespect and disregard for black women or mother altogether.
That's right.
Or because if we were respecting and protecting and honoring our mothers and our women the way that we should, there wouldn't be a need for a mother.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But because, like I said before in our opening, especially with our black women, because I'm not really concerned about everybody else's women.
Yes, sir.
I just gotta be honest.
Yes, sir.
I care more about our women
That's
than
right.
any other woman on
That's
the
right.
planet.
That's right.
Right.
And that's not being racist. We'll explain to you that a little bit later on as well.
Yes, sir.
But we have been destroyed.
Come on now.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Come on now. Come on.
Because that's why, I thank Allah for this newspaper, the Final Call newspaper.
Yes, sir.
I mean, look at that headline. Building up black women.
Come on now.
What newspaper do you see that would have a headline
Yeah.
like that?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And it's so necessary because, again, we have been destroyed.
Yes, sir.
Once we were brought here to this country, they were bent on destroying us.
That's right.
They were bent on destroying us and making us into something other than what we were.
That's right.
Because when we were in Africa, swinging from trees and with bones on our noses, no, that's not what we
Okay.
But that's the lie that they tell.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right.
That's right.
That's right.
We weren't what
Oh, okay.
we were once we got to America.
That's right.
Right.
They turned us into something totally different.
That's right.
Right.
It's interesting, man. I was riding down the street and down Colfax the other day. The other day when we had that 90-degree weather.
Yes,
And I
sir.
had my windows down and I pulled up to a light and there was two sisters talking on the bus. And one of the sisters said, "Hey, B-I-T-C-H, how you doing, girl?" I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
She called another sister a B-I-T-C-H as a term of endearment.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Think about that.
Think about that now.
Mm.
And the other sister answered.
Oh, man.
No, come on. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, bro.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
I'm riding, I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, they really destroyed
Come on
us.
now.
That's right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah
Yes,
Muhammad,
sir.
teaches us that a good name is better than gold.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's what he teaches.
Because whatever we call each other,
Yes, sir.
we'll become that.
That's right.
That's right.
So when they brought us here to America,
That's right.
they called us everything except that which we were.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's right.
They called us niggas,
That's right.
coons, ham bones, gal.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Right.
The most honorable Elijah Muhammad referred to us in our state before he found us as the so-called American Negro.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Negro. Now I want to do something for you all real quick. Negro. Everything that's in the name, right?
Yes, sir.
Break it down, bro.
Negro. That's what they refer to us as. Now, some of us would say, well, that's okay, because Negro in Spanish means black. Negro. Is that right, Sister Latios? But the language that we speak, see, because this was intentional for them to call us Negroes and for later for them to call us niggas.
Yes, sir.
That was intentional because the English language, you might not know it or not, is what they call a dead language.
Yes, sir.
In language, you have dead languages and you have living languages.
Yes,
Arabic is an original language.
Yes,
it's
sir.
a living language.
Yes, sir.
And what I mean by dead language is, and Sister Fatira could bear witness to this, she teaches language. English is a language that is borrowed from every other language all over the planet.
Right.
So if you look up an English word, it's going to have a Latin root. It might have a French root. It might have an Old English root.
That's right.
Right? It's derived from something else.
Right.
When they called us Negroes, they weren't calling us just black. Because in the English language, this letter right here, the G, is always interchangeable.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
man.
Go ahead.
So you could also make this into a C.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
You could also make this into a K.
Yes,
Now, if
sir.
you do it with a C, Negro.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with the K.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right.
Does anybody know what Negro means?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Negro means dead.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Teach, brother.
Educate.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They called us Negroes because they were going to kill us.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Come on now.
The so-called American Negro is a dead man.
Yes, sir.
He's a dead woman.
My.
So she could say, hey, B. Right? Hey, B-I-T-C-H, how you doing, girl? Because she's dead. She don't know who the hell she is.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
A Negro can call his brother, what's happening, nigga?
Yeah.
Hey, my nigga.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he's dead. He don't know who the hell he is.
Go ahead.
He's been destroyed.
Yes,
And so
sir.
now he's calling his brother
Right.
exactly what he is.
Mm.
Dead.
Dead.
And a dead man is going to answer.
Yes, sir.
A dead woman is going to answer because, again, they don't know who the hell they are.
My.
They called us Negroes on purpose,
Yes,
which
sir.
is why we need to build up
The
Right.
black one.
the black woman.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Go ahead.
Now,
3. I gave it 2.
you say the black woman, brother. What about the black man? Yeah, you need to build up the black man too. That's for sure. But the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that when you teach a man, you teach an individual.
That's right.
Right.
But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
So if she knows who she is,
Come on.
Yes, sir.
oh man,
Come on.
the world is in trouble.
That's
Yes,
come
sir.
You understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
The world is in trouble
Come on.
once she finds out who she is. And who she is, brother and sister, I'm going to humbly suggest to you. No, I'm not going to suggest. I'm going to just tell it who she is. She is absolutely the second self of God.
That's right. That's right.
The second self of God.
That's right.
Brother, what do you mean by that?
Come on now.
What's in the name? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that God is really not even the name of that one who we refer to as the Creator. That is a title.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
God simply means power and force.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right?
Right.
But Allah, which
Allah.
is the all in all,
Come on now.
Right.
the personal name of the proper name of that God,
Yes,
Allah.
sir. Yes, sir.
He has attributes,
Right.
right?
Yes, sir.
One of his attributes, the number one attribute, is creator, al-Khaliq.
Come on now.
Right.
Yes, sir.
He is al-Khaliq, or the creator, because before there was anything or anyone, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that he created himself.
Come on
Right.
now.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's heavy.
Go
man.
ahead, go ahead.
Think about this now.
Come on.
He created himself out of the triple darkness of space.
Come on.
Mm.
It was so black that, I mean, you can't even imagine how black this is. Like, close your eyes. That don't even.
It's not bad
Yeah.
enough.
It's not black enough.
Right.
It don't encompass enough.
Yeah.
But there was material in this darkness.
Yes,
or
sir.
this blackness.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
he began as an atom of light
Mm.
who began spinning
Yes, sir.
Dog.
to the point where he created brains and then he created himself.
That's right.
But in doing that, after creating himself, first off, he didn't want to be by himself.
That's right.
Right.
Come on.
That's
Is
right.
that
Go
right?
ahead.
Come on now.
Right.
Right.
So he had to create a second self
Yes, sir.
Right.
and a way to reproduce himself.
Come on now.
Right.
Now, in creating himself, he became the first man.
That's right.
God is a man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, God.
I just gotta say that.
Yes,
Come on
sir.
with it.
He's a man.
Yes, right.
But he created himself out of the womb of space.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow,
yes.
wow, wow.
Right?
Go ahead,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
So once he created himself, he had to make another one. Again, he came from the womb. Right?
That's
Right.
right.
So that womb, he had to produce another man. So that womb man became one woman.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Y'all get what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
He created himself. So the second self was one man.
That's right.
But if she don't know herself,
Right.
she's gonna act other than
That's
herself.
right.
Exactly
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's
Just
right.
like if we don't know ourselves, brothers, as being gods, we're gonna act other than ourselves.
That's right.
That's right.
All praise is due to Allah. She is the second self of God. She is the secret of God.
Yes,
Come on
sir.
now.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on now.
She is the key to the kingdom.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Oh man.
Wow.
Brothers, if we don't know who she is,
Come on. Come on.
if we don't know who she is,
Mm.
and we don't know who we are, we're going to continue to disrespect her.
That's right.
Right. Yes, sir.
That's right.
And we'll always be used as a tool and a slave by our enemy.
Yes, sir.
The reason why we aren't up, the reason why our community isn't up, the reason why we don't have a nation of our own is because we don't respect, protect,
Come on.
elevate, honor our woman.
Black-
Come on.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
That is the absolute truth.
Yes, it
That's
is.
right.
That is the absolute truth. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you're not even fit to be recognized as a man unless you protect, honor, and elevate your woman.
Come on now.
Right.
Right.
Come on now.
That's right. Go ahead.
Praise be to Allah. And so the enemy man does whatever the hell he wants to do with our women.
Yeah, he
right.
does. Yeah, he does.
He does, man.
Uh-oh.
Our community, man, is a playground for him. Whenever he want to come in and get some dope and pick up our women, he come right on in and do what he want to do
That's right.
and leave on out. And we don't say a mumbling word.
Right.
Matter of fact, a lot of times we sell them.
Yeah,
our
that's
women.
right. That's right.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
See, we out of our damn mind.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right. Yes, sir.
She's so very important.
Yes.
Now, the Honorable, first let me say, Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon him, that heaven lies at the foot of the woman.
Come on now.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan wrote a wonderful article, again, in this issue of the paper. This is such a powerful paper,
Yes, sir.
entitled Heaven Lies at the Feet of Mother.
Come on.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad took it a step further, brothers, and said that you don't have a heaven outside of your woman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I know that's right.
That's right.
You don't have a heaven outside of your woman, man. So if you looking to go to the sweet by and by after you die,
Come on.
you know, put on a white silk robe and some gold slippers,
Yeah,
and drink
yeah.
on some milk and honey, and man, it ain't happening, Captain. The only thing that you gonna see after you die, man, is dark. That triple darkness I was talking
Yes, sir.
about.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan writes in this article, and I just want to read a few things from it, that heaven, because heaven lies at the feet of Mother, represents a state of peace, where the citizens of heaven live in accordance with the laws, rules, statutes, or commandments of Allah God.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
This is also called in Scripture the kingdom of God. Again, it is called the hereafter.
Yes.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the hereafter means here on the earth after the works of Satan are destroyed.
Come on
Yes, sir.
now.
Right,
Come
right,
on
right,
now.
right. Talk about
Some
it.
Islamic scholars say that the hereafter is a continuation of this life, only it is lived on a higher plane. See, man, look, we got tricked, brothers. When they turned us into Negroes,
Come on, brother. Come on.
beyond this life, beyond this world that we can look forward to. Meanwhile, our enemies were enjoying everything on this world.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly
And
right.
ain't it funny that everything in heaven you can find on earth?
Come on now. Everything.
I mean, think about it.
Yes, sir.
Everything that they said was in heaven that will be waiting for you.
Yes.
Streets paved with gold,
Yes, sir.
Come on.
right?
Yes, sir.
Silk robes, gold slippers, milk and honey. All of these are earthly things.
Earthly
Yes, sir.
things. That's exactly right.
Think that
That's
over.
right.
Meanwhile, you got 1% of the population that's controlling 85% of the
Come
wealth.
on now.
Right.
Come on now.
Enjoying heaven on earth while they live.
While they
Right.
While they beat and killed and murdered the post-slave and told him that he was going to get his after he died.
Come on now.
It's a cold shot, man. That's a cold trick bag.
That's right.
And the whole process, the whole time that they was making us into slaves, they made this thing so miserable for us, man.
Come on.
That anything that we would get outside of work, any sort of pleasure, man, we would just, oh man, we just bask in it. Because they made our living conditions such a hell.
That's right.
Right. Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Listen to what the minister says about sisters and why every religion needs to reevaluate the way that we look at black women.
Yes, sir.
It says this is why every religion and every society must reevaluate how we look at the females in our society.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
To think of her as only being valuable for procreation and pleasure is devaluing her.
Yes, sir.
To think of her as not being talented or gifted, she may be an equal sharer in the development of the society, nation, or civilization, is to devalue her. To make her a sex symbol is to devalue her. To show her off before the world in an indecent manner is to devalue her.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Rubies have no consciousness and do not know of their value.
Yeah.
Neither do diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds. It is we who place a value on these stones.
Yes, sir.
In this world, the man has not given or placed a proper value on the female, and thus has caused the female to devalue herself. The
Wow.
behavior of our women and our girls demonstrate the thinking of a devalued human. For women to accept to be displayed or kept in an inferior status is to accept the devaluation of herself by the men of this world.
Wow.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow.
Go ahead,
I want you
brother.
to think that over, man.
Yes,
Because,
sir.
you know, another thing, you know, we talked about the capitalists a little bit earlier. Another thing that they did in the early 20th century was they placed value on diamonds.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
know that
Yes, sir.
before 1948? Didn't nobody give a damn about no diamond ring.
Wow.
This is all information that you can find too, very easily. No one cared about a diamond ring. You know how they say diamonds are a girl's best friend, right?
Yes, sir.
But it is only because we place value on that diamond that it's valuable.
That's right.
What can you do with a diamond except for put it on your finger?
That's right.
Right.
On it.
We talk about the capitalists now. It was De Beers in 1948
Okay.
who devised a way to make diamonds valuable to the American population.
Right.
They came up with this marketing campaign talking about diamonds are a girl's best friend. And that men, if you were to be married, that you should spend at least a month's salary on your diamond engagement.
Listen. Wow.
Before that, there were diamonds just piled up in mines in South Africa and throughout the continent.
Right.
You can walk around with diamonds, tossing them up in the air like it ain't no thing because they didn't have no value. It's a stone.
Right.
But after this advertising campaign, when it started to take off, because they marketed not to women, sisters, they marketed to the men.
Right.
So that men would place value on this thing and buy it, show her that he loved her by buying her an engagement ring. Now, remember in 1948, it was 1 month's salary. The marketing campaign worked so good
Come on.
that by the 1950s, they had upped it to 2 months' salary. And the American sheeple, the American people
Boy, that was
bought it hook, line, and sinker. And so now, if we want to show our lady that we love her and we want to get married, man, I got to spend 2 months' salary on this diamond ring.
wow.
But before that, it was just a stone. You see what I'm saying? But the reality is, we place value on that stone.
Yes, sir. Come on, brother.
That's exactly right.
That's the reality. When we should be placing value on that woman.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on down.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
That's right.
All praises due to Allah. So, she is so important. She is so important. She is absolutely the secret of God. Mother is about everything.
That's right.
I gotta say that. Mother is about everything.
Come on down.
Everything we place a value is mother. Everything that is enriching and nurturing comes from mother.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? When we come into consciousness, you know, being lost in America for so long, the first place we want to get to is back to the motherland.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's
At some
right.
point, man, we got to go to Africa.
Yes, sir.
Got to.
Got to.
That's the motherland. Not just from us, but that is the place and the space from which all of humanity came from.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we got to get there. When we talk about losing our language, we talked about English and how this is a dead language. If we're conscious, we got to get with Sister Fatira and start to study our mother tongue.
Come on now.
That's the original language, right?
That's
right.
When you have mother wit, you know what I'm saying? The sisters got mother wit. My mother got mad mother wit. That's natural wit and intelligence.
Yes, sir.
That's what you want to have.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Mother, man, is the key to everything. She the key to all of humanity and our connection to God.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
She
Come on,
is the
Brother
second
Herman.
self of God.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir.
Go
We
ahead.
live in a universe, right, that has
Yes,
9
sir.
planets. Is
Yes,
that right?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Man, a universe with 9 planets.
Come on.
The 10th being the sun, which makes all 9 spin at the same rate of 3,037 and a third miles per hour on
Yes,
its
sir.
own axis.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? Spinning around all at one time.
That's right.
Meanwhile, if we look at our own bodies, our own systems, we got 9 systems in our bodies
Yes.
that are governed by the 10th system, which is our
Come
brain,
on now.
causing those to work in concert
Come on.
Right.
without us even thinking about it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You understand what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
Mother is everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Our prophets and our messengers, when they come amongst us, whether it be Abraham, Moses, Jesus,
Yes, sir.
Muhammad, they are always styled, believe it or not, brothers, as women.
That's exactly right.
Spiritually, they're styled as women.
Yes, sir.
In the Revelation, we have that picture, and we talked about this in a previous lecture. In the Revelation, we have that picture of that woman who was ready to give birth to a child, to a man child,
Man child.
who will rule the nations with a rod of iron,
Come on now.
Go ahead.
right? And there was a dragon
Come on.
waiting to devour that child
Yeah, that's
before
right.
he was born.
Come on.
That's
Right.
right.
Come on, sir.
But that we're taught by the Most Honorable
Okay.
Muhammad that woman in the scripture represents the prophet of God,
Come on.
Yes,
the
sir.
messenger of God.
Yes, sir.
In Islam, you know, we're about to start Ramadan.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Ramadan is starting, inshallah. It's either Monday or Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And during Ramadan, we fast for 30 days during the daylight hours in honor of the revelation of our holy book, the Holy Quran.
Yes, sir.
But Prophet Muhammad, through whom the Holy Quran was revealed, is referred to as the Ummi Prophet.
Come on now. Come on.
Are y'all familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna learn a little bit. Remember we talked about language, and Arabic being a living language. Ummi. He's referred to as the Ummi Prophet, right? Now, Arabic scholars, Islamic scholars will say that Ummi is referred to as the Ummi Prophet because he was illiterate or unlearned.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And so a lot of scholars say that is what that means. But that's not the first meaning of that word.
That's right. Go ahead.
First off, if Allah revealed the Holy Quran, gave him verses, and told him to read, Iqra, the Arabic word, but he couldn't read, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Right.
What's the point?
That's
If
right.
he can't read, you telling the man to read. So that has an entirely meaning altogether, entirely different meaning altogether. But Ummi literally means, Sister Fatira, bear me witness, motherly.
That's right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come on.
Motherly.
Come on now, man.
He's the motherly prophet.
Come on. That's beautiful.
Go ahead, brother.
Break that down, brother.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I mean, think that over now.
Yes. That's
Think
beautiful.
that over. Because he is the mother of a nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful.
Oh man, it's a
That's
beautiful
beautiful.
thing.
It is.
We have to, man, we really have to, this teaching, man, is so awesome. When
Go
you
ahead.
think about who we are
Mm.
and what we're involved in.
Right.
Okay, we're a little study circle, we're a little mosque, or whatever you want to call it, but in reality, we are the nation of
Nation.
Islam.
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
man.
Right.
Yes, sir.
When Master Farad Muhammad came and found us, he called us the lost found nation of Islam in the West.
All right.
Meaning,
Help us.
Some more.
there's a nation of Islam in the East.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
there's a nation of Islam in the North. And there's a nation of Islam in the South.
Right.
But we were the lost found nation of Islam in the West because we didn't know who we were.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, praise be to Allah. All praise.
All praise is due to Allah.
So
Yes,
he's
sir.
the only prophet. You know what I'm saying? He's that motherly prophet. He's the one who he went throughout, and that's what he was teaching. He wasn't teaching no geographically based religion. It wasn't all about the Arab Peninsula. He went into, you know what I'm saying, Iraq and Syria and Iran and all of these different places to establish the nation of Islam.
Yes,
It's the ideal of being a nation that is about peace.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because Islam is peace.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna prove that through the language again.
Come on
All
now.
right? Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So we talked about, Sister Fatira, we talked about Islam being a living language, right? And so Islam, correct me if I'm wrong, does not have, the Arabic language doesn't have vowels necessarily, it's consonants. It's a religion that is, or a language that is rooted in consonants. Example, we say Assalamu alaikum, right?
Right.
So we got S A L A A M. That's salam, right?
Right.
That means peace.
Right.
We talked about we are the nation of Islam, right?
Yes, sir.
ISLM, right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That means peace.
Yes, sir.
We got our dearly departed brother who passed away, was named Sabir Salim Muhammad. Is that right, brother?
That's right. That's right. Praise be to Allah.
His
Yes,
name is, may Allah be pleased with him. S-L-I-M. Salim.
Right.
Remember, we don't have any vowels in the Arabic language. We have consonants. So salam, you got what? A S, L, and an M.
Yes, yes, yes.
That means peace, right?
Right. Right.
Islam,
Yes, that's good.
you got an S, a L,
Come on now.
and an M.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Brother Salim, his name was Sabir Salim Muhammad, right?
Right.
Peaceful one.
Right.
You got an S, an L, and an M.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All rooted in peace, all the same thing. We are the nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
So we're not trying to, we don't have a problem with, I just gotta be honest. We don't have a problem whether you say you believe in Jesus,
Mm-mm.
Abraham, Muhammad. I don't care if you believe in Buddha.
Yeah.
You can still be in the nation of Islam.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't care if you call him Allah. I don't care if you call him Jehovah, Yahweh, Kulu Kulu.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
You can still be in the nation
Come on.
of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Because the idea is we are a nation of righteousness, a nation of peace,
Come on
Yes,
now.
sir.
a nation of submission to do the will
Will
of
of
God.
God.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
By whatever name you call him.
Come on.
The nation of Islam belongs to all of our people.
That's right.
Right.
This isn't an exclusive club.
That's right.
Come on now.
Even though it appears to be so. You see the suits and the ties and the garments, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
But that is only because we are striving to be in submission
Come on.
to the one true God.
That's right, brother.
Sir.
That's right.
See, we can't be out
Come on.
talking about we in submission to God.
Right.
You
Right.
cannot do that.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
You cannot do that. You are objectifying yourself.
That's right.
Brothers, we can't allow our women to walk like that and say that they submitting to God when they're objectifying themselves.
That's right.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan writes in this article still, I'm still on this Heaven Lies at the Feet of Mother.
Yes, sir.
This is a beautiful article too. It says, this is just about the cover, the way that sisters dress. Allah God asked the woman in the Quran to lower the garment over her bosom and cover her adornments. The breasts of a woman are an adornment. Parts of the female body are an adornment. Her hair is an adornment. Allah God asked the female to cover not because he desires to make a slave of this female.
Yes.
He wants her to be protected from the insults that come from a man who is attracted by their adornment of the female.
Come on.
Yeah.
He wants to protect her from a man whose mind is low down.
Yeah.
He wants to protect her from involvement with such a man. He wants to protect the man from the weakness of his own nature, that he will not be an agent of Satan in the devaluation
Right.
of the female.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Come on now.
See,
Yes,
that's
sir.
the reason we come.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Because and on top of that, you know, we talked about diamonds and rubies and sapphires and emeralds, and we could talk about pearls and all of these stones that we find of value, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you find these stones or these precious jewels, they're not easy to find.
Come on now. Come on, sir.
Right.
Come on.
They're not easy to find. You're just not gonna jump in the ocean and go find a pearl.
No, sir.
You gotta get you some scuba gear,
Come on.
rent you a boat.
Yeah.
You gotta mine and find the area where the pearls are. You gotta dig down. Then you gotta sift through the clam or the oysters and find the ones that
Wow.
you lucky enough to find a pearl in it.
Come on
That's
now.
right.
But they're covered.
Yes.
Right.
You gotta go to when you go to the diamond mine, man. You gotta dig through the mountain. You gotta excavate. You gotta dig this thing up. Then you gotta knock all of this black coal off of the diamond to get to the precious stone.
Yeah.
It's covered.
Yeah.
That's
That's right.
Mm.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
gonna find anything precious or of value that's not covered.
That's right.
Right,
That's
right.
right.
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
You're not gonna find anything that's of value that's not hidden.
My mind.
Even when you're looking for gold,
Come on.
That's
you
right.
can find you can go up to the mountains in Colorado and mine and sift through, and you might get some what they call
They
it's
still
called
doing
fool's
gold.
gold, pyrite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But once you do find the gold, you're not gonna see that shine initially.
That's right.
You gotta
Good
get
point.
through it. You
Good
gotta
point.
put it in the water and all sorts of chemicals, and you gotta wipe the dross off of
Come on
it.
now.
The dross
Dross
is a
off
thick
of it.
black
Yes, sir.
soot. It's covered,
Yes, sir.
protecting the precious gold underneath.
Right.
Man. Go
You're
ahead,
not gonna
brother.
find nothing of value
Yes,
that's
sir.
not covered.
Come on now. That's good.
And so our sisters, even though We know their innate value when they are uncovered walking around these streets. In the state they in, they're not valued. They're totally, like the minister says, devalued.
Yes, sir.
Because they devalued themselves by uncovering themselves.
Right, right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. So, so the only way that she's going to be built up, right? Because we're building up the black woman,
Yes, sir.
is that she be in total submission to the will of God.
Right.
Right? That's the
Right.
only way.
Right.
I mean, because even if we build her up, and we definitely have a place in striving to build our woman up.
Yes.
The woman has to see value in herself.
That's
Yes.
right.
Right.
That's
Everything starts with self.
Yes.
Everything.
Right.
Right.
The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that, man, to know yourself, man, that is the most important knowledge you could ever have. Knowing yourself. So in order for her to be built up, she has to be on that quest or striving to get that knowledge of herself, to know who she is. She got to know that she's the second self of God.
Yeah, that's
Right.
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 See, if she knows that she's the second self of God, man, she's gonna demand respect.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Demand it. You know, she won't even have to say nothing.
Come on.
Right.
Just the fact that she knows, man, we automatically gonna know.
Come on.
Right.
That's good.
Go ahead, brother. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's real talk.
Yes,
When
sir.
a person knows who they are, man, shoot, they ain't gotta say nothing.
That's right.
Their actions.
Come on.
I mean, remember, the universe is styled after her, and she's styled after the universe. And the Earth, our planet, you know, it has what we call atmosphere around it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's right.
Right.
And so what that atmosphere does is it protects everything on the earth
Right.
Right.
from everything outside the earth.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
So if we want to get up out of this atmosphere, man, we got to put ourselves in a contraption, put ourselves in a protective suit.
Take
We
some
got
air.
to break through this atmosphere
Take some air.
at a high rate of speed, or else we're going to burn up.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother Herman.
That's right.
Go ahead. Go
And
ahead.
anything that comes into the Earth's atmosphere gotta prepare to be burnt up
Yes,
coming
sir.
through. So it's the same thing with a sister who knows herself. Look, man, if she know herself, man, the brother step to her wrong, man, shoot. It's gonna be an atmosphere that's present. Is that right? There's gonna be an atmosphere
Yes, sir.
that's present. You gotta come right and exact.
Come on now.
Come through that atmosphere.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Oh, praise be to Allah.
Yes.
So that's where we gotta be, man. That's what we gotta do in valuing our women.
Yes.
Our beautiful sisters, you know, we have an awesome example in Mary, or Mariam, the mother of Jesus,
Come on.
Right.
in how our sisters should strive to be, because Mariam was so righteous, you know, that in the Quran and the scriptures it talks about how the angels fought
Yeah, that's right.
over who was gonna have charge of her.
That's beautiful.
Take charge.
Now, can you imagine
My.
a sister that's that righteous
Wow.
to where the angels would fight one another as to who would have charge of her? You see what I'm saying? That says a lot.
It
That says a
does.
lot about the mentality of a sister who knows herself. You know, in preparing for this subject and looking at, you know, the text, of course, from the minister, and looking at some of the writings of and lectures of some of Minister Farrakhan's greatest ministers, one of my favorites is Sister Dr. Ava Muhammad.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
I gotta say,
Yes, sir.
I gotta say,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
one of
sir.
my favorites.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she's such a powerful minister. And I'm not saying she's one of my favorite female ministers.
Come on now.
right.
Period.
She's
Okay.
one of my favorite
That's right.
ministers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Yes,
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I've said it before, man, he's just so advanced in the way that he sees women that he would make our sister,
Come on.
based upon her qualifications,
Mm.
national spokesperson.
Nationals, right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now?
Now that says a lot.
Yes,
Yes,
it
sir.
does.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
it
says a
does.
lot.
Yes, it does.
And Sister is responsible for writing the introductions to the study guides, self-improvement is the basis for community development, which is our class course of curriculum. Sister wrote the guide to the ministry. Just her teaching is just powerful.
Come on now.
And her teaching is so thorough, and it just reminds me that I'm looking at us and I'm looking at where we are. It reminds me that the duality of the human being, right? And
Yes,
the
sir.
duality of God. In that, sisters and brothers, we make up one another.
Come on.
Well, the Quran says that we're twin halves of a single being.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can't have the masculine without having the feminine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This whole lesbianism and homosexuality thing that is plaguing our community, and I say it's plaguing our community because it's killing our community.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Come on.
I say that.
Come on.
I'm not afraid to say it.
Come on
Right.
now.
You know, I know it's unpopular to say anything that will be perceived as negative about homosexuals,
Yeah.
but that behavior is destructive to our community.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's absolutely destructive.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You know, if everybody's a homosexual, how do we continue to live?
Don't.
Right. Exactly.
Don't.
That's right.
I mean, period, man.
Go ahead, brother.
If it ain't about life,
Say it.
man, it
Say
ain't
it.
from God.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But that sister, man, you know, she writes she gives some beautiful lectures, and she has wrote some beautiful writings.
Yeah.
And if you have the opportunity to read any of her books, and she has numerous books,
Yes, sir.
you would definitely benefit.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
Praise be to Allah. But suffice it to say, yes, we sisters, we definitely should look at Sister Mariam as an example. We should look at Sister Student Minister Ava. We should look at Mother Khadijah.
Yes, sir.
And we should look at Mother Tanetta.
Yes,
we
sir.
should look at all of those
Yes.
sisters who wear the title of Mother. Because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan wouldn't call them that if they were not
That's
that.
right.
Come on
That's
now.
right.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And so there's a lesson just having that title, Mother, especially in this work. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, it's a beautiful thing.
Go
All
ahead, brother.
praises due
Good
to
teaching.
Allah.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
praises
sir.
due to Allah. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan finishes out on this particular article. We will never have a heavenly life until we have a godly females who love Allah with their heart, soul, mind, and strength, and who will never come down from the elevated place that Allah, God, desires for the female. If she is elevated in consciousness, filled with the word and spirit of Allah God, filled with the knowledge of self and Allah God, then when she is with child, we can expect that she will be like Mary,
Come on.
a good mother.
Right.
Heaven lies at her feet,
That's right.
which means that children must be in submission to the godly woman to let her shape and mold them into good boys and girls.
Yeah.
The scripture teaches, train up a child in the way that he should go.
Yes,
And
sir.
when he is old, he will not depart from it. Then and only then can we produce the heavenly life on earth. Then and only then can we as a nation ascend to that elevated place and witness the kingdom of Allah God on earth. Then and only then will we be in the hereafter, where there will be no vain discourse. And everywhere we look, we will see and hear nothing but peace,
Come on now.
peace,
Come on now.
peace.
That's right.
Heaven lies
Yeah.
at the foot of
Oh,
Mount.
praise
And with that, I want to thank you for listening. Praise Allah.
Yes, sir.
So how's everyone doing? Praise Allah.
Fine, sir.
Praise Allah.
Yes.
Now, before we get out of here, again, I just want to thank each and every one of you, brothers and sisters, for coming and attending our meeting today. This is, we always say it, this is not the church, which means that we give you the opportunity after each of our lectures or presentations to ask questions if you have any. So at this time, if anyone has any questions that they would like to ask regarding what we taught here today, or anything that you might want to know about the Nation of Islam, if you could just raise your hand, we'll address those questions. Are there any questions? Sister Ladios. Wa alaikum salam.
So you mentioned Allah created himself,
Mhm.
and then he created the woman. Do you know how long it took for him to create himself, and then the woman afterwards?
Very good question. Very powerful question.
Yes.
I can only say from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that we don't know when Allah created himself or how long it took, because there was no one there to measure the time.
That's right.
Right.
And so we don't know how long it took for him to create the woman as well. But we do know that the earth dates back to over 78 trillion years. So we don't know the exact time, but that is the knowledge that we do have. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Brother Victor.
Well, that was the first I've heard about the diamond industry kind of got popularized.
Yes, sir.
And the year you said it was around 1948.
Yes, sir.
That's roughly around the time the state of Israel was established.
Yes, sir.
And they're like the dominant in the diamond industry, right?
They are called jewelers, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother Victor.
Go ahead.
Connect the dots, brother.
Yes, sir. Connect them dots up. Shoot.
There you go.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. And that information is readily available, you know. Like I said, man, we don't have any excuse in terms of being ignorant. Man, you got that thing in the palm of your hand.
Yes,
All
sir.
you gotta do is look up whatever it is that you want to find out. But I would say this too, like with regards to knowledge and information, that we should always, whatever information we receive, we should always research with the teachings of the Honorable